Hello, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well today. Something just a little bit different on the channel. I'm not going to be reviewing radios or anything. We're going to help someone, or at least we're going to try and help someone. We've got a new breaker that reached out to me on email. His name is Steve. He's in a town called Bournemouth. It's not that far from me. I did look on the map. It's about 8 kilometres, about 5 miles. And he's just set up, or in the process of setting up, a new station. And I think I've heard him maybe call out on the Lima Tango net on the Monday night, but I don't think people were hearing him very well. And I think that's down to his antenna, because he's told me that he's got a base station antenna. I think it might be a 5/8 wave, a bit like a silver rod. But at the moment, he hasn't mounted it on a pole, or he hasn't got it on the side of the house. He said he's got it leaning against a tree, or close to a tree. I'm not sure if that means it's on a pole and it's leaning against a tree, or if he means he's got it right on the deck, leaning against a tree. He's going to send me a picture later, and I'll have it by the time I edit this, so I'll put it up on the screen there. It might be that the antenna is directly on the ground. Now, of course, if that is the case, that isn't ideal at all. But strangely enough, it's the sort of things we used to do back in the day when we were coming into CB, because we were very new and we didn't have a lot of money, and we lived with our parents. And I remember a mate of mine did exactly the same thing. He went out and bought a GPA half-wave antenna, which is basically a silver rod. Got it from a local TV repair shop that sold them. And I remember he took it home, and with the intention that he was going to sort of mount it on the side of his dad's garage. And his dad had none of it. "You ain't putting that bloody thing on my garage." So we literally just had it on the deck, leaning against the garage. And because the antenna is so tall, and it will radiate on the top of the antenna, he did get out. He didn't get out very far, and that's the problem if you've got an antenna right on a deck. But he did get out using the top part of the antenna. Now, obviously, when you've got a CB antenna, you need to get it a certain height above the ground to get the ground wave. You'll get sky wave because it goes everywhere straight up, but you also need ground wave, especially if you're using a local communication line of sight. A lot of the time you're relying mostly on ground wave, and that's why you get a lot of interference with man-made objects. I've always said, from my own experience, because I started out with my air antenna on a patio umbrella base, and that was, I think originally I was about 2 meters, and then it kind of worked better for me. When I got to about 3 meters, I then got some ground wave, and that really increased my signal. And obviously the best way is to get it on the side of the house and get the base coil above the roof, because then you won't be picking up so much interference. But surprisingly, it will work. If he is on the deck, and I've got a feeling he might be, it will work, but he'll get loads of interference from around him, and his distance, because he won't be generating ground wave, his distance will be very restricted. But strangely enough, because he's grounding the antenna on the ground, he'll probably get a usable SWR, because that's how the antenna works. So yeah, a bit of a strange one, but I say he's just starting out, and you all have to start somewhere. Now, he's really enthusiastic about his equipment. He reminds me of myself in a way, where he jumps in feet first and then the knowledge comes later. That's very much how I start projects, unfortunately. So he started off with a CRT 9900, which is Radio Oddity QT80, and that is a great radio for DXing. It's so forgiving, and it's got such good audio. So he's made a good start there, but he hasn't stopped. Even though he hasn't set his antenna up, he's got the real itch, like we all get. And he's bought or imported a Ranger, one of those big Rangers, the RCI, I think it's the 69 Base Plus. This is one of those great sort of big. This used very similar to the Ham, was it the Ham International Jumbo? and very much an iCare Andy radio. Lots of nice sort of, it's almost like a 70s hi-fi with lots of nice little switches. And I think with the Ranger, it's a modern interpretation, and you get a frequency display. It's a complete dark side radio. Originally, I think they were 10-meter radios, and they're expanded, and you can get all of the frequencies. I don't know if you can get the FM programmed into it. I'm not really sure. But they're very nice things to own. They look amazing with the rack handles and everything. Personally, when you look into them a little bit closer, all they are really is a regular CB radio that's been put inside the box with a power supply next to it, and everything's been expanded. And I think the ham one was that, I can't remember now. I can't remember it. It might have been the Ham International. I'll see if I can find a picture. Literally the Ham International inside a bigger box. So they're not that sophisticated really when you go inside them. Now they're quite expensive to get one in the UK. I did check the prices out. I made a note of them down here. So in America, I mean, obviously everything's cheaper in America. You can pick one up for just over $600 in America. But then if you want one into the UK, I did find one seller on eBay that's willing to ship. And it does get rather expensive. So it's $723 he wanted, and $230 shipping. And that came out over £700, like £715, £720 delivered. That's quite a lot of money, isn't it? For especially a radio that you're buying overseas. And very nice radio. But I mean, personally, I would look in the UK and try and find a wide-banded HF radio. Not as cheap as they used to be, but maybe, and you might just get an Icom 7300 for about the sort of £799, £800 mark. Or what's the other one? A Yaesu. You certainly probably get a Yaesu 1200. I think they're about the same. I'll have a look when I finish this video and I'll put up a picture. But a Yaesu 1200, I just think it's a much cleaner, much nicer radio. It's got the power. If you really want 100 watts on sideband, it's got the power. And but basically you have a lot more filtering. You have DSP. It'll be, for my money, it would be a much sort of more usable radio. And of course, then if you want to take the hobby further, go into ham radio, you've got the equipment. But I certainly do get these big Rangers, these RCI, ICIs, 69s. I certainly get the eye candy. So what we're going to do anyway, he's emailed me and say he's got this radio, he's got it set up with the antenna the best that he can at the moment, but he can't get any contacts. It might just be there's no one around, or it might be that his range is really limited. But being just 5 miles down the road, I mean, in theory, with a piece of wet string and a coat hanger, I should get him. So I'm going to go on and try and give him a radio report and try and encourage him, and I'll try and get him to get the antenna up on a pole. And then I think you can come on the 305 and then on the Lima Tanganet. But this is what I do really. I mean, I do the reviews and everything. But I have already this year, we've got 2 new people back on radio that come on to the 305. I don't always get to show you this. Often they come on unannounced. I don't get an email or a comment, and I'm not set up with a camera. And then occasionally, you know, I say to people, do you mind if I make a video? And they're, oh, Fred, I don't really confident. I don't want myself on the internet. And I get that. So I've checked with Steve, and he's okay to appear on video. So if you do leave a comment on this video, can you make it encouraging, please? You know, don't criticise the guy because he's just starting out, but maybe, as I say, give him some encouragement about his antenna placement and everything. So I'm going to go down into the Shed Shack. The fact I'm making this intro and you're seeing it means I did get a contact. So let's see if we can get hold of Steve in Bournemouth. Let's see if we can encourage him to get his antenna higher and get him cracking on radio, especially SSB with that awesome Ranger that he's got. Let's get on to it. So I don't know how good Steve's receive's going to be, so we're going to start on full power and full RF gain. I normally knock the RF gain back. I'm getting at about 6 or 7 pounds or S points of noise, which is quite high, but it is a Sunday, and Sundays are normally quite high. But we're going to give him a call out. Hopefully he'll come back to me. Yeah, Steve in Bournemouth, Fred in the Shed, London Coney, 1664, giving you a call.
Yeah, afternoon Fred, nice to hear from you. Appreciate you helping me out with this. How am I coming across at the moment? Over.
Hello there, Steve. Right, I've got you. I'm just going to reduce the RF gain, Steve. So I've got about 6 S points of noise at the moment. But yeah, I've got you coming in.
Roger that, Fred. I've just moved the power up slightly, see if that makes any difference, go.
Go on then, Steve, go ahead.
Okay, I'm on full power on the 9900. Does that make any difference?
I'm getting you. So I'm probably about a signal 6. I've got quite a lot of noise today. But yeah, you're definitely making a contact and you sound pretty well on frequency.
Nice one, Fred. Thank you for that. Can we just try on FM, see if that makes any difference? Are you able to do that?
Yeah, I can just change mode on this frequency. We can go straight onto FM, yeah?
Thank you, copy.
Yeah, I got you, Steve. About the same signal. But yeah, got you coming in.
Much clearer on my end for you, I must tell you. And you've gone from a sort of 6 up to almost an 8.
Oh, roger that. So, your antenna, you still got it close to the tree?
Right, so basically I've got the tree is just slightly to the right of the antenna. So I'm just sort of in some foliage next to the tree. But I think when I asked you last time, you said if I put the silver rod against the tree, that would be a problem, no?
Yeah, you'll probably get a bit of reflected power then. So what sort of SWR are you getting at the moment, Steve?
SWR is good. On the UK 40, I'm getting 1 to 1, 1 to 2, all the way from 1 to 40. And on the Euro band, just slightly higher, so 1 to 3, well, from 1 to 2 up to 1 to 4.
Okay, that's pretty good actually, considering that you've got such a low antenna. What sort of, how much noise are you bringing in?
Well, that's a good question actually. So sometimes you get quite a lot. 6 bar, 7 bar of noise, and then other times or later in the day it will drop off to sort of 3 or 4 bar.
Well, it's working, Steve. As I say, I mean, I think if you got your antenna higher, definitely, if when you get it above sort of the ground level, maybe get it on a pole, get it a bit higher, I mean, it will certainly improve your signal. Back to you, mate.
Well, the real test is going to be now, I just want to flip over to the Ranger base station. Is that okay?
Okay, Steve. Well, do you want to try and stay on this frequency and just swap radios? Can you do FM on the Ranger?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go to Ranger. Just give me 1 minute, and I'll come back to you shortly. Thank you.
Okay, Steve. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Fred. I'm on the Ranger now. This is the home base. I really want to know what the time are coming across.
Right, so your signal is pretty much the same as the 99, but the audio is a lot quieter. It sounds okay, it sounds clear, but have you got a mic gain setting on the radio? Can you crank up the audio a little bit?
Yes, so my gains are 5, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way round though.
Oh, that's much better. That's much better. If this video comes out, you'll be able to hear it. Yeah, it sounds good actually. I think it sounds a little bit better than 9900. Your signal's still a bit low, obviously, and that's down to your antenna. But it's bang on frequency. You're 27,295,000.
Oh, that's nice one. So that's made my day actually, because I was quite concerned whether it's on frequency or not. So I've just turned the power up slightly on this on the Ranger. Sounds any better to you?
Not really noticing a lot of difference, to be honest. Why don't you try it flat out and I'll see what that sounds like.
Yeah, I've cranked it up now. It's not going to go any more. So, and about most of us can go on the power. My gains all the way up. It's not distorted or anything, though.
Yeah, all copied. Yeah, it's very similar to the 9900 in power. As I say, I do get a lot of noise on FM. Very similar to the 99. I think the audio is better though, to be honest. It has got a nice a nice tone. Did you want to try? Do you want to go back to upper sideband and see how it sounds there?
Yes, that's right. I'm going to go now. Thanks.
So that's working okay for him. The sideband will be the test though.
Fred, this is Steve on the Hyundai Ranger.
Right, I got you, Steve. Right, okay, you're sounding very high. You're coming across very Mickey Mouse. I haven't changed the clarifier. I can probably clarify you in. I don't know, have you got a adjustment on your end? Have you got a BFO on your end to maybe turn your frequency down a little bit? Right, okay, so you've gone a bit too low now, Steve. Can you split the difference? Right, okay. When you started at the bottom, I think you said 1, 2. Go to 2 or 3. So you want about 2 or 3 from the bottom.
Do you want to just flip back to FM?
I've got you now. That is it. So you're pretty much spot on now.
Oh, fair enough. And audio bleed sounds okay?
Yeah, it sounds okay. I would say it's very. I think it's very fractional low. I mean, you could try going one more click higher. No, that didn't work. Go back to where it was, Steve.
Yeah, the trouble is if I move it, then you're out of. You sound like you're doing a robot dance, and then if I come back to where I am, where you'd need me to be, you sound okay.
Okay, well, yeah, at the moment you're not quite. You know, it's good enough. I could easily clarify you in. I don't want to change frequency at all. If we stick on here, and if you give me a long over, I'll clarify you in.
So I'm going to go down from 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, yeah, I got you. So I've just got you on a little bit on about 20 on the clarifier. It's not much. It was 2 clicks, but that's good enough actually. That's good enough, and I say it's sounding very good actually on upper sideband, mate. So I think you've done all right.
Yeah, it's a lovely radio. Honestly, it's such a beautiful looking radio. As you say, it's sort of like the old one of the ham radio space stations from the 80s. So I actually wanted a 2995, couldn't get hold of one. This chap's still got 69 bass plus, and he did the conversion and sent it over from the States.
Yeah, Roger, I saw the picture. Yeah, I mean, always been great eye candy. Very much like a ham jumbo, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I'm very impressed with it. I was just worried about that I was getting out, but I think the problem is around here, as you know, and I'm not that far from you, the big problem we've got is there are not that many breakers locally.
No, FM is very, very quiet. You want to hang around channel 35, and you might hear Elstree, Dave and Jake. In fact, they'll probably be on tomorrow in the afternoon, but channel 35 on FM is a good place to hang out. Back to you, Steve.
Yeah, roger that, Fred. I've been up there a couple of times. Nice guys. I don't know if you know Dave. He must be so close to me. A guy called Dave. He's on the net, on the Monday night net, and he literally blows my windows out.
Oh yeah, well, all over. But no. I mean, I think considering your antenna restrictions, I'd say it's working really well. So I've got you clarified in now on just 30 on the clarifier. I've reduced the RF gain, and you're perfectly readable.
Nice one, Fred. Fred, do you happen to know if the clarifier
Is for receive and transmit, or just receive?
Well, I'm not sure on that radio. See, on the I'm on basically the HS4, which is the 6900. You can adjust it for either. So it could be that your clarifier is doing both. So it's going to be quite difficult to get everyone in. So it's transmitting very slightly high But say I don't know. But I think until you get your antenna, you need to get your antenna up a little bit higher. Really, get it up on a pole. You know, get it 3 meters off the deck, and you'll find that will really help. That'll sort out a lot of issues.
Roger, agree with you there. I think you're actually right. I just need to get
The silver rod slightly higher, so I'm going to borrow a pole, maybe a 2 metre, 3 metre pole, stick that in the ground and just raise it slightly, and then I'm just above the tree line now, but it'll take me even further above.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, that's what are you changing anything, Steve? Because you're actually going as you're transmitting, you're going up on frequency.
I've had to move to clarify. Have you got AM on the radio you're on at the moment?
Hang on, right. You've gone really, really high now, Steve. I've got you on 296 now. You're actually completely 1K up. Oh, do you know I've lost you, Steve. I don't know. I've lost him now. There we go then. That was Steve there in Bournemouth. I think he's quite made up. I think he's a bit worried. I mean, he's spent a lot of money importing that radio. It's a bit of a kind of a wish list, bucket list radio. That, I mean, they're really, really nice to look at. I don't know if they really perform any better than the sort of CRT type radios, really. HS4 here, or certainly the 9900. The 9900 will probably match it on sideband. You'll have a job to beat the QT80 or the 9900, but I mean, it's such a nice radio. So I think he's quite happy that he was getting out. I don't know why his signal started drifting up and I was having to clarify higher. As I say, until he gets that antenna pulled away from the tree, I don't know how close it is to the tree. It was leaning up at the tree at one point, but you won't really know, because it could have been reflected power. His SWR might have been going up high, but once he gets it up on a pole, hopefully that'll be soon. I think it'll work a lot better. But nice of him to come on, and that's really what, as I say, the channel has always been about. I do lots of reviews and such likes just to sort of keep the interest going, but quite often it's just getting breakers back on radio, get people back on the radio. I don't often record, funny enough, people coming on, because we're normally on the 305 and then someone will come on who's new and they don't seem to come back. But I think Steve's going to be a bit of a regular on the Lima Tango net. He's doing quite well on that. So yeah, nice to hear him on there. He's got a lovely radio, and thank you for you guys for tuning into the shed. And yeah, back with some more videos very, very soon. So cheers, guys.
Fred's in the shed where the magic unfolds. Fred in the shed with his trusty CB. He's a friend to the lonely on a frequency.